Okay, so here we are going to try some A-type. I'm going to try and show you out there how to go for high scores, whatever version you're playing. So in this version I'm going to start at the highest level, because that's what Tetrises are worth the most points. I believe it's that line that's open. Yeah. Okay. So a general nice strategy to start off with for any solo play going for high scores is to keep the exact middle open, which, depending on the version you're playing or system you're using, whatever, it's going to be in a different location. Which I have it set up for this one right now. And by exact middle, I mean you can just flip and it's a Tetris. That's what I mean by that. So that's why my whole strategy right now is based around leaving this open. Which this is harder to do than just using one side, but it's good to practice at lower levels because when you get to higher levels, it's definitely the way to get the best or most points. It's the easiest way to get Tetrises at a higher level because you don't have to fight going to a side or whatever. You can just flip it and it's Tetris. So hopefully I'll get to show you guys a little bit more here. Which, as you can see, that makes it nice and easy for Tetrises. So here again, just flip straight down. It makes things so nice. Another general good rule is to always, I mean, it's easier said than done, but as a general strategy, you want to leave a spot open for every piece that can possibly come. So in this scenario, I mean, that's sort of what I base a lot of my strategy around, is leaving a spot open for every piece, and it changes as I go sometimes, obviously, because something's closing based on a piece you're getting. But right now, any of the S's or Z's basically go over here. Squares will stack either to either side. As you can see here, pieces are just stacking, which inverses obviously don't want to stack. I just want to make that clear. A lot of people stack still inverses, which is not good. Stack if you have to, but you don't want to have to do it too much. So now, the shitty thing about what I just did is it's forcing me to have to put a long one here if I want to wait and not get any lines, which a lot of people try and play perfect games, which for this I'm not going to. I'm just going to try and basically keep the game alive as long as I can and play some basic strategy. I do take lines every once in a while for position, like in that scenario, it's because of the piece. Here again. Never block. If there's specifically L pieces, I notice a lot at Tetris League. If there's a position where it can come down straight, like for instance the top left there, and L fits perfectly on top of it, there's no reason to block with anything else. I mean, it just fits perfectly here. That's where it was like meant to go. Like, there's no reason to block it. Because I mean, especially long ones, they're so versatile. You can put them basically anywhere, and they can just go horizontally half the time and just take a line across, which people do not seem to use them for that often. Put that in there. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick. But yeah, I switched that up because this fits in here nicely, and I didn't want to have to take a line in some odd locations. So I know I've said it before in other videos. I don't know if I've posted them yet or not, but my benchmark for most versions, as far as going level 9 to level 10, is to at least have 200,000 going into level 10, which we're well on pace for in this game. The record for this version, by the way, according to Twin Galaxies, is 319,000, and whoops, that was close. What am I trying to say? Jesus. Sorry, this game just got a little bit screwed. 319,203 lines is the record on Twin Galaxies, which I've already posted a video, I know of, I think 544,000 and level, or I mean 284 lines, I believe. But yeah, I had a little mistake there, so gotta clear that up. At the top, those are half the ways a lot of these games end. It's just if you're stacking and it just, you know, nicks the top or whatever, or you leave a corner out rather, then you're just screwed. A little out of a position for the moment, just waiting on a few pieces. There, that makes it much nicer. And now we're back to our slot, I believe, for the Tetris. This should be the perfect position, I think. And by that I mean this. Boom. Flip it once and it's in the hole. Here, because of this. Also, yeah, a lot of people make that mistake. Squares and L's, or squares, or whatever piece before an L, rather, just in general, you always want to see if it's going to affect where you're putting the next piece, the next L. So, I mean, think about that in your head as you're putting it down. I mean, if it's going to screw up the next move, you don't want to do it that way, you want to flip it. And by that I mean a square usually against the corner is the best example, or into a corner rather. If you leave it one space from that corner, it allows for the play of the other L piece, which people walk themselves a lot with that. We're almost level 10 here. There we are, level 10. Which the speed doesn't increase that much until, I don't know. I don't notice it too much. I guess I'm used to faster versions anyway, and I'm used to holding down while I screw up. But yeah, level 18, 19 is definitely when you notice a good increase. And then playing through the 20s, it's pretty similar right up until 29, where it goes extremely fast mode. I'll take this just so I'm ready for the Tetris with that move. Which that's what a lot of my strategy is based around after this point on now. It's just trying to be ready for Tetris at all times, or at least, you know, as soon as possible once I get another Tetris, or get a Tetris rather. So now I'm waiting on the L, and there it is. So now I'm ready for another Tetris. So bam, flip once, Tetris. Leave that open. I probably should have put the long piece to this side, because now basically squares or L's can only go over here. I'm gonna take this first. There we go. Which I sort of broke one of my own cardinal rules there. If you ever have a Tetris available and you can't see another long piece coming right after the piece that's coming that you want to take the Tetris with, just take it. I, so many times, screw myself over by not taking it when I should. So you end up building yourself up higher and then not even getting a chance to take it, and the game ends because of it, so. This version, I have the record according to Twin Galaxies. In this version, it's one of the harder versions to get a real high score in, because the Tetris scores never escalate, if you'll notice. Anytime I get one, it's worth 12,000 once you're level 10 or level 9 and beyond anyway. I haven't even checked 8. I can't remember. I'm sure it's the same though. It's probably not as high. It probably escalates up till 9, but 9 is the highest. Level 9 and beyond, I mean by that. It's always worth 12,000, so in most versions of Tetris, the score escalates, and you eventually, I mean, Tetrises are worth a shit ton. There is a mistake.